Radio check, radio check. Can you guys hear me? I hope you can hear me. And yeah, welcome to the 2025 Azerbaijan Grand Prix race. Judging by what we saw in qualifying, this might be a really interesting race because the grid is all mixed up. I hope you guys can hear me, but if someone can confirm in chat, that would be great. Paula says we hear you. Thank you, Paula. And welcome. See here the usual suspects: Dark Maui, Brandon, Curse. There's Grash in chat. Hope you're feeling better, Grash. Che, MS, Donny, Aska. Welcome everyone to the channel. Okay, so yeah, a quick update for today. We started with the commentary a bit earlier, and yeah, I might be doing the commentary for the race. I think this would be, yeah. Well, I tried it once, but Grash is feeling a bit under the weather, so I'll try to fill in. Okay, Grash says I'm starting to feel better. Well, if you wanna jump in for the race, yeah, just let me know, and I'll be here until then. So good news. Maybe we'll still see Grash, and there's probably gonna be some flags today. So yeah, we don't wanna miss those. So just yeah, I wanted to go through some news and some updates for the race and from yesterday. So just to keep you all informed. First, let's go to the grid because the grid is really interesting. I mean, we have Verstappen on P1, Sainz, Lawson, then the two Mercedes, Tsunoda is on P6. This is, I think, his best result this season. And then Norris, Hajar, who was a bit disappointed because I think he thought that he can do a lot better and be a lot more up in the grid. Then we had Piastri, Leclerc, Alonso, Hamilton, Bortoleto, Stroll, Behrman, Colapinto, Hülkenberg, Gasly, Albon, and in P20 will be Ocon. Yeah, it's not Grash, it's actually racing statistics. So yeah, we might see Grash later before the race starts, but we will see how it goes. So that's the grid. And yeah, there has been a change since yesterday because Ocon has been disqualified from qualifying. So, I mean, it doesn't change a lot for him. He will still be able to start the race. He just, instead of P18, he's gonna be P20. And the reason why he was disqualified was because he didn't pass the test of, I believe it is because of the flexing of the rear wing, or was it something else? Let me see. Yeah, he was in breach of some technical regulation. Let's see if I'm right. Yeah, so basically this rule relates to the how much the rear wing is allowed to flex, which is set to a maximum of 0.5 millimeters. And yeah, his rear wing had more than that, so he has been disqualified. The other interesting thing that, yeah, maybe it's, yeah, as Grash says, the wing failed. It failed the flex test. Then the other thing is Piastri, he had some damage, so he finished in P9. But even though they're changing the chassis, he is not gonna be a pit lane start because according to the rules, if they use the same settings, same parts with same specs, that wouldn't require for him to start from the pit lane. So that's good news for Piastri. Not so good for Norris, I guess. But yeah, even though they are changing the chassis, he will be still starting on P9. Then we have the strategies, are the possible race strategies for today. So according to Pirelli, the fastest one is going to be a one stop from the medium to the hards, and the pit window will be from lap 16 to lap 22. This is, I think, the same as last year, even though last year we had one. So this year we have C4, C5, and C6 tires compounds, and last year we had one level harder. So even though now we have softer tires, it still seems that from the mediums to the hard, it's the fastest race strategy. But of course, this is assuming that there's not going to be any virtual safety cars, red flags, and anything. But we have bigger chances of that happening because of the race conditions and everything. So that's the fastest one. The second fastest would be from the hards to the mediums, with the pit window from lap 29 to lap 35. And the third option is from the softs to the hards. And here, softs could last maybe 16 laps, according to Pirelli. Now, the other thing is that the weather is, well, this morning it was raining in Baku, but now it's clearing out, so we expect like 20% chance of rain, and it's very unlikely that it's gonna rain during the race, but it's gonna be cloudy. There's not gonna be any sun, so the track temperature is gonna be lower, and also there's not gonna be that much because the rain in the morning basically resets the track, so there's not gonna be that much rubber, and lap one will have, I mean, the drivers will struggle and will have very little grip in the beginning, which might be issue and might cause some incidents. So we will see how it goes and how the drivers decide on which tires to start. Because for the ones in the back, if one-stop strategy is possible with softs to hards, that might be even a good option, because you can maybe gain a lot of positions in the start. Okay, let's see in chat. I kind of lost the chat. Yeah, so what do you think? Which strategies should the drivers go for? It says, how many red flags today? Yeah, we will see. Also, it depends on how well will be Grash. I guess that's a big factor in the red flags. Nathan is quoting Alonso, I'm the unluckiest driver, had 2 World Championship and 32 wins. Ati there says Piastri will win today. Yeah, that's gonna be hard to do, but yeah, McLaren definitely has the pace to do it. Although Red Bull is looking really good since last race. I mean, many people thought that was a one-off in Monza, but yeah, they keep showing up now this race too. They have pole and McLaren is way back, so I know it's far-fetched, but if McLaren doesn't, let's say, climb up to the podium, even if they don't win, if they can do that, I think it's gonna get a bit, I mean, they will feel a bit of a pressure from Verstappen, who is coming from P3 to P2 and P1. Especially if Red Bull updated something and that car is a lot more competitive until the end of the season, and if he can get poles and wins, there's definitely gonna be pressure even for the drivers' championship. And also it's spicing up the battle for P2 in the constructors. So right now It's, I think, around 20 points difference between Ferrari, Mercedes, and Mercedes and Red Bull. But right now, Red Bull is in the position to gain most points this race. Then it's Mercedes, and last is Ferrari, starting on P10 and P12. So those three are kinda are gonna be even after this race, unless something weird happens. So yeah, the battle for P2 in constructors is gonna be very interesting until the end. Andrew says, can't hear you today since I'm watching at a bar, but always glad to know you're here. Well, have a good time, Andrew. Influx says both of the V-Carbs are getting a podium this year, I think. Isaac already got one and Lawson is P3. And if he keeps his position, he could get a podium too. Yeah, I mean, he has a lot of faster cars behind him. So that's gonna be definitely hard, but he has proven in the past that, yeah, he can defend well. And yeah, there is another thing that I wanted to mention, that is the available tires for every driver, because I think that is an issue for Lawson and for Hajar. They are the only drivers that don't have a new set of, well, they don't have any new set of tires. So the hard one is used. The medium ones, they have two sets of mediums, they are used, and they have three sets of soft tires, and they are all used. So I think they are the only team that doesn't have any new tire for the race, and that can be a bit of an issue. Maybe we'll see how it's gonna be with the tire degradation. But yeah, not having a new tire definitely is a handicap for the team. And yeah, besides them, everyone has at least one set of hard tires, but not many. It's kind of split, like half of the grid has also a new set of medium tires. So Piastri, Norris, Hamilton, Gasly, Colapinto, Ocon, Behrman, Albon, and Hulkenberg, they all have a new set of medium tires, and all the others are gonna be on used one. And I think that's gonna be also relevant because yeah, this I guess adds a bit of advantage for McLaren, because they have a new set of hard and new set of medium, so they can play more. And as for the soft one, yeah, most of the teams have new soft tires, besides VCarb, and besides Red Bull and Mercedes, I think. Yeah, from Mercedes, Russell doesn't have new soft tire, but Antonelli has. So let's see how it's gonna go. The brain rot R says, will we see some rain today? It's very unlikely, but there's still a 20% chance for rain. There was rain in the morning, but now, yeah, it seems it has calmed down. So anything is possible, but I don't think that we're gonna see rain. Anyway, it reset the track, so it's, even though there's not rain, it's still gonna make it interesting for the first laps. And I see right now the message from race control that the risk of rain for the race is actually 10%, so it's going lower. Previously it was 20. So yeah, very unlikely to see rain, but even without the rain, this is gonna be, I think, very interesting race, because yeah, the grid is really mixed up. We will have from behind faster cars like Ferraris and McLarens coming to the top, and we have Yuki Tsunoda in P6, which he hasn't started in that position this year, I believe. Yeah, we have the two Mercedes behind Lawson and Sainz, and this, yeah, it's gonna be I'm really excited about this race. Manu John says Russell will drive hard today. Yeah, I mean, I think he will want to overtake Antonelli at the start. He will be very aggressive, but We will see how Antonelli will react to this. Daniel O'Brien says, Polabo, I think Lando will finish in top 3. Yeah, he kinda needs to progress fast through the grid. And this is actually not that bad for him. Even though he starts P7, if Piastri is behind him, he's still gaining points on him. So yeah, he has to keep himself ahead of Piastri. Okay, we have 10 minutes to go. Already 1,000 people watching. Thank you everyone for tuning in. And we have 260 likes. 216. So if you haven't liked the stream, please do so. It really helps us. And yeah, of course, subscribe to the channel as so you don't miss any of our streams. Oh, we have a donation that I kind of missed. L Cook says epic 6 red flags for Grass. Hope you're feeling better soon. Yeah, it was so many red flags that they even made Grass sick. So hopefully Grass is gonna feel good for the race. Okay, Grash is preparing. He says yeah, he's feeling better, so he will be joining us for the race. And I think this deserves dropping G's in chat for Grash. The main author says, why were they hesitating so much with the flags yesterday? I'm not sure what you mean. I mean, they weren't hesitating a lot. I mean, we had so many red flags, so they weren't hesitating to drop them, definitely. Imorash 1980 says, how many red flags do we expect today? Well, Grush is feeling well and is coming back, so I would say multiple. But yeah, we don't know. With the unforgiving Baku circuit, yeah, there will be red flags, definitely. Well, not definitely, but very likely. And especially with the low grip in the beginning, yeah, it's gonna be crazy. With the yellow flags and green flags after the black restart. Yeah, I think that's just for safety. They want to make sure that everything is fine with the track and there's no debris and yeah, things like that. So they are just trying to be cautious, as always. She's saying yellow tire was the C5 compound and it was more durable and outperformed the C6. Okay. Well, I've put a poll before the stream started to rate the qualifying yesterday, and yeah, I agree with 68% of you that it was a 5-star quali. 16% say it was 4-star, and 8 and 7% for 3 and 2-star. So mostly we agree that it was a great qualifying session yesterday. A bit unusual, but it was interesting to see this grid. Austin Ellis, Mehmet Lawson takes out Carlos in the first corner. Yeah, there's definitely a beef there, but I think that they will both be cautious and not ruin their races. I mean, they're starting at P2 and P3. That's very unlikely to happen again for this season. So yeah, they should be cautious and keep their positions and fight cleanly. Arya says Ferrari, however, should have used the C6. Leclerc was really struggling with warm up. Yeah, Ferrari really disappointed yesterday. First with Hamilton and then Leclerc, even though he got into Q3. But it is what it is. We're kind of used to it. We're always thinking, yeah, maybe next year. One time, maybe we'll guess. Okay, we have 5 minutes to go. And I'm also opening the Twitch chat. So we have Toro, Magic, Leda, and Garage there. So hello everyone. It minutes to go for the formation lap. So yeah. World says I think Ferrari should use the remainder of the season to develop 2026 car. Yeah, but they also kind of want to finish P2 in the Constructors Championship. And there's a big battle. They are currently P2, but it's like Mercedes is 20 points behind them and Red Bull is 41 points behind Ferrari. And seeing Yuki in P6, Max in P1, and then Mercedes in P4 and P5, they'll probably catch them after this race. So that's gonna be, I think that they still want to finish P2 this season, so they will need to put some efforts into that. But yeah, they also should focus on the 2026 car because that's going to be a new era, and a lot of teams are hoping that to be a turning point. I think Alonso said that he would retire if 2026 is a good year, but if not, he might stay for another one. And from what I'm reading in other news media is that Mercedes is actually the one ahead for when it comes to the power unit development. So is it going to be Aston Martin, Mercedes? I mean, McLaren is going to be here. Red Bull might be a really interesting season, but we will see. This is just talks, and until the first race, it will be, yeah, a lot of sandbagging and a lot of guessing, I think. The Brainrot says next year with the active aerodynamics, they should add sensors to detect wind and adjust so drivers can have most constant laps. Labeling one-stop strategy today. It looks like it. It looks like medium to hards, and I think this is the correct one. Like half of the grid starts on the hards and half on the mediums. So Verstappen is gonna start on a new hard, but the 3 drivers behind him will be on used mediums. Then Russell and Tsunoda on new hards, and then Norris, Hadjar, Piastri, Leclerc, and Alonso on mediums. Hamilton on hard, Bortoleto on hard, Stroll on medium, Bierman on hard, Colapinto on a medium tire, Hülkenberg on a hard tire, Gasly on a hard, Albon on medium, and Ocon on hard tire. So it's kind of a 50-50, I think. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's exactly actually 10 drivers on the hards and 10 drivers on the mediums, with the difference that a lot of the drivers that start on medium, that's actually used medium and quite used. Like the Science one is 5 laps, the Lawson tire is 6 laps. Yeah, so we will see what is the better option in very soon. Okay, Grash is ready, so drop G's in chat, and yeah, let's have a good race.
Hello, everyone. This is Grash with you this morning. You are listening to Race Statistics channel. So check, make sure everything's live. Cool. All right. Thank you, everyone. This was an hour or hour and a half ago. I wouldn't be able to commentate. Don't know what happened, but basically something made me sick yesterday. Dehydrated me. I've been much more hydrated than I was a few hours ago. So thank you all. We are again about a minute away from the formation lap, everyone. Boss went over, but basically let's go over we got Max Verstappen starting on a new hard tire. We got Sainz on a used soft tire. I'm sorry, used medium tire. That's five laps of that medium. Lawson on a used medium, 6 laps on that one. Antonelli on a used medium, 5 laps on that one as well. So we're going to expect them to go maybe 10 laps on those tires. Again, the strategy they're looking at is potentially one stop, a medium, hard, medium type strategy. These guys on with 5 and 6 laps, even 4 and 3 as we get down, that gets questionable whether those tires are going to be able to last that long. Teams are off the grid. That was a bad shot of the drone. Get the Qatar Airways signing away. Just waiting right now. Actually, go to the clock earlier. Here we go. And it is now top of the hour. We have started the formation lap, everyone. So someone asked if someone bids it on the formation lap. Well, we would end up aborting the start, and that we've seen that actually happen this year a couple times. Do you want to do a different prediction to this today? I was asking what type of prediction you guys want to do in Twitch chat. So we are starting the formation lap. So they're looking at about 19 laps on that medium tire. So when we look at Sainz, he's going to go maybe 12, 13 laps. Lawson 11 laps maybe approximately on that medium tire. Of those, like Colpiano and Gasly have medium tires that are fresh. Yeah, so everyone who's on a hard tire is a fresh hard tire. So it's all these medium. Oscar has a fresh medium tire. That's interesting. Norris has a fresh medium tire. So it's going to be interesting. Bold prediction: Liam Lawson surprise victory. That would be a huge. He would have to get ahead of Sainz and Max, or they would have to not make it some way. Right now, they've made it. Max has made it into Sector 3 now. Right now, looking at no one has bundled it so far through the castle section. So we made it past our favorite turns 4, turns 5, turn 6, turn 7 right now. Going on Sainz and Max for a moment. Do you think Sainz and Lawson could be? Yes, it's very possible they could keep their podium positions. People are asking how many red flags today. We could see at least one. If someone gets stranded on the racing line, that would cause a red flag. Dark Mario at beef soup, and yes, it's smooth. Oh, that would do me well right now. You see Oscar bounce back to qualifying. Well, I mean, it's also Oscar and Norris. I mean, they're back in the midfield effectively at 7 and 9. Here they are. They're coming to the line now, coming back to their grid spots. Right now, we're just waiting for them to line up. Akon was disqualified. Basically, his wing that he was using flicks too much. 1 light, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we are racing in Baku, everyone. Max gets a good start. Sainz comes in right behind him. Leeson is right behind Sainz. They've spread out in the top 5 already. So far, making that first turn, so when no one bottles it. It looks like Clerk and Norris still fighting with each other at the moment. Isaac's up 1 position. Norris is down 1 position. Clerk is up 1. Hamlin's up 2. Something's happened to Oscar. Give yellow flag. Oh. This is Oscar could be. Oh, what's going to happen to Oscar? Oscar is in the wall. He is in the wall, turn 6. He's out. Now, are they going to red flag this? So Oscar has crashed. We are in yellow flag. Are they going? If he can back out and keep moving, it'll stay a yellow flag. So they're calling the safety car right now. So we are having a safety car out because Oscar has crashed around turn 5 and 6. I thought we got out of turn 1. I thought we got out of lap 1. He's out of this car already. He's okay. What happened? That's okay. Nope. He went into the technical barriers. No one. No. Yeah. I mean. Yeah, he was carrying too much speed. He locked up, and that is it for Oscar for this weekend. Yeah, this is going to change the makeup of the championship fight with him and Lando. Lando has to now get up the grid and make as much points as he possibly can. Yeah, G's in chat for Oscar, everyone. We got 2,628 watching right now on Twitch. We've got over 4,686 watching on YouTube. You guys just saw the first lap incident where, well, it's all Oscar's fault, not really an incident. Ocon is coming to the pits. That's weird. Albon's coming into the pits. Wait, what are they doing? You're going to fresh medium tires. Was there a puncher? Yeah, can someone figure out what happened with those two? Did they get punchers from the incident with Oscar? Right now, the cars are going around where Oscar hit. They're working to get that car onto the crane at the moment. So we're still waiting at the moment. What happened to Oscar at the very start? He was going into turn 5 and 6. He kept. Basically at turn 6. Basically, he had too much speed going into that corner. He locked up and went into the wall. He is out of the car. He's okay. Now it's just a matter of waiting for the car to be pulled from the track. So we got a couple laps before that will happen. Again, this is the Racing Tickets channel. This is Grass with you. Almost didn't do commentary today. Yesterday after the quali, after that epic run, I literally got into bed and was not feeling well all day yesterday. And really up until a few hours ago, I got up to try and prepare myself. Is this the race? Yes, this is the race. We are covering the race right now, Bob. Again, we're currently under a safety car scenario because Oscar has crashed. This would have been if this was under quali or the practice. Oh, Oscar had anti-stall too. Oh, Oscar had a bad start to begin with. He had anti-stall to start with. And Alonso had to go around Oscar to not slam into him. Wow. Oh, we'll finish the race. That's not an issue. We're not going to get the same number of red flags as we did yesterday. So as it is right now, we've technically gotten one version of the safety car. And this is the one thing the race has that practice and quali doesn't have is the safety car. So where time stopped yesterday, in this case, time they're still doing laps. Oh, what's anti-stall? So when the car starts, basically the issue is that the car could stall. Ooh, was that Ocon? Ocon went into the wall. Ooh, this was messier than I thought. So here comes Hulkenberg. He sees, Hulkenberg hit one of the Haas's, and they went into the wall. So that would be why Ocon pitted. I think Albon. Ooh. So Hulkenberg's going to get a penalty for causing a collision. But basically, the anti-stall is when they drop the clutch and they try and get it and just get the car moving. If they push it too hard too quickly, it goes into what would be an anti-stall. Again, we are right now under the safety car. We're on lap 4 of 51. Again, on the first lap, we had several things happen. First, we had Oscar crash at turn 6. After that, we had an incident with Hulkenberg. Oscar noted false start, moving before the single. Oh boy, Oscar has not had a good day. Alonso false start, moving before the single. Oh, how Oscar is getting a false start when he stalled in his spot. Noted that. We know that Hulkenberg hit one of the Haas's and they hit the wall. That I think was Ocon who ended up doing that. Albon came in. I believe he had a puncture, but I don't know specifically what was the circumstance under that. This is what McLaren wanted to hand Norris the championship. I mean, Oscar had a bad start. He stalled. There's so safety car is going to be in this lap. So we'll on lap 5 we'll be back to green flag running. Got nearly 3,000 of you watching on Twitch right now. Over 5,500 of you watching on YouTube at the moment. Safety car is going to be in this lap right now. Safety car is in sector 2, coming to the end of to the start of sector 3 in a moment. Again, this is Crash with you live, and this is our coverage of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here at Baku. Again, the big story right now is that Oscar is out. Ocon had to pit because he got hit by Hulkenberg, and Albon had to pit as well, apparently. I'm assuming he got some sort of debris and caused a puncture. He went from a medium tire to another medium tire. A lot of you people are freaking out about the fact that Oscar's out. I do want to remind you that Norris is in 8th right now. He's currently getting, 4 points? He needs to get, he's like 25 points or so behind Oscar. So he needs to make a charge up the grid in order to get good points to make this more of a championship fight. And even still, I mean, if he even gets up to 5th, that's still enough points to make this interesting. Lights out now. Yeah, lights out been on for right now. We're now green flag running on lap 5. Got over 6,000 you almost watching at the moment on Twitch. Not Twitch, on YouTube. 3,000 you watching on Twitch. 6,000 on YouTube. Thank you so much. So Oscar's got a 5-second time penalty for false start moving for the single. He's out of the race. So that's going to be applied to the next race as a grid drop. And we are now racing again. Anyone is close. Again, they're spread out for the most part. Max right now is leading with a 1.2 second gap. Lawson is about a second behind Science. Antonelli is 6 tenths. So there's a train from Science all the way back down to Ocon at this point. Yeah, Max is going to have clear air because he's leading the race. So that is basically there's going to be a 5-second penalty for Alonso. It's a false start moving for the signal. And DRS is enabled on this lap now. So for our purposes, so Max is coming to the detection point, and it's just after turn 2 to almost to turn 3. And then the other DRS point is around turn 20, which is a slight bend. It's detection point. And then it's basically the straight from the start finish through the start finish line. And Norris has lost the place. He's now P8. So he is down a position from where he started. Here comes Hamilton charging past Isaac. They've noted Ocon Hulkenberg collision noted. That's pretty straightforward with what we've seen. Clerk has moved up 3 places. He's now P7 behind Russell. Oh, this is interesting. Incident involving Hulkenberg and Ocon review, no further investigation. So they're just going to call it a racing incident with those two. That was interesting. They're showing a replay of Leclerc passing Lando. So they're showing an incident. Basically, they're going around a turn. Lawson is leading the two Mercedes, and Mercedes are side by side. And unfortunately, it squishes Russell back, and that allows Snow to move up to 5th place. So he's up a position. So we're actually in a world where there's Max and Sainz in their own little world, and then we've got Lawson leading the pack behind him at the moment. Got a shot of Sonoda and Russell at the moment. Alonso saying Alonso being told that he's getting a penalty, and he knows it because he reacted to Oscar, who also jumped the gun as well. So we've got 600 likes on YouTube. Thank you so much. That helped us with the logarithm over there. Yeah, we are on lap 7 of 50, now lap 8 of 51. Sainz is the fastest lap after that last lap. Now he's on a used medium tire. It was 5 laps used on that tire. So of the people who are going to pit, those are the two. Sainz, Lawson, Antonelli are in the 3 most likely. Isaac with 11 laps on his tire, they're most likely to pit sooner. You've got about another 5 laps before that starts to come into play. Looks like some trash was either leaves or trash was thrown onto the raceway. Yeah, one of the things that's been noticeable this weekend is that the track has been very dirty. It was dusty during FP1, FP2. Since yesterday, we've had a ton of leaves that have fallen on the track. And this is Hamilton moving past Isaac, replaying that overtake. What a tire strategy! It's really more a hard, medium hard, or a hard medium, or a hard medium type strategy. It's not that any better cleaner. It's just it's a street course, and there's just a ton of trees around the course. Those leaves they show up in shots, and they give you a better idea of the dynamic feeling at the moment. So right now, as it stands, with the points are basically the red right now. Right now, because Max is in first and Yuki is in fifth, the constructors is going to move on to Singapore at this point. It's basically going to be a one stop. I know Pirelli has been trying to push them to the 2-stop, but they did the C4, C5, C6 tires to help do that. Yeah, Max is most likely on a one-stop strategy. He will go several. He'll go about 30, 35 laps and go to a medium. Your personal opinion, should Baku stay on the future race again? Oh, absolutely. Oh, Baku's a great track. Now, someone said that Tsunoda passed Russell. It's so embarrassing for him. Well, Russell got pinched by the wall and had to back off, and that opened up the door for Tsunoda to pass him. And you can blame his teammate more than it's not really Russell's fault. More of his teammates not giving enough room. They were both racing right behind Lawson when that happened. So. Looks like no rain this time. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to get rain. It did rain early, apparently early in the morning. So the track is still somewhat green. So later as this race goes on, there'll be more grip. But it won't be as dynamic and dramatic as it would be, say, during quali. And here's Antonelli pushing on Lawson. Russell has got ahead of Sonoda, so back to his position. He does that before turn 3. And Yuki backs off significantly. That opens up the door for Leclerc and Norris to get closer. Showing the replay of how Russell got past. It was pretty straightforward. He went out on the outside. And Yuki's back end scraped the ground with some sparks. That's interesting. Where's Ryan? Ryan has taken off this year. So this is Grash with you on the Racing Statistics channel. We're now on lap 10 of 51, now lap 11 of 51. We've got 41 laps to go in this race. Again, the big story starting off on lap 1 was that Oscar carried too much speed and ended up into turn 6 and is out. There's an incident with Ocon and Hulkenberg, but that was rated a racing incident. And Albon has pitted early on. He went from a medium to another medium. So I suspect that he picked up some sort of debris and he got a puncture. Got a donation from Paula, 10 pound for this great channel. Best one out there. Thank you, Paula. She is a legend, everyone. And yeah, guys, don't follow along with the. If you put illegal streams in chat, you'll be thrown out of chat. We like our channel. This is how we protect our channel. That's over in YouTube chat. You guys over in Twitch chat are perfectly doing well, so don't worry. One of the things that we are doing as well is that we are posting more data. So we've got interactive F1 data charts. So if you go to racingstatisticsf1.com, and the link is in chat for that. We're on lap 12 right now of 51. Max has gotten so we've now spread out in the top 3. So Max is about 3 seconds ahead of Sainz and about another 2.5 seconds ahead of Lawson. And then with Lawson, we got Antonelli, Russell, Tsunoda, and a bit in that next group. Tsunoda is actually, I would actually say, it's more spread out. Lawson and Antonelli together, then it's Russell, then it's Tsunoda, and Tsunoda's got Leclerc, Norris, Hamilton in a group. Then it's spread out again. So, was it the car or the driver's fault with that? I would say it's the Oscar's fault. I think unless he got a gust of wind behind him, which is possible, it feels more like that was his fault than the car's fault. And you also got to know he also got a penalty for a false start. He also had an anti-stall. So it really is. I put this under the driver with everything that's happened. Hamlin could pass Doris. That's true. Hamilton's now within DRS range of Norris. Norris has fallen back just out of DRS range to Leclerc. Jumping in and out. They're in around that 1 second. That, but 10th in and out. Talking about Max's advantages as the mediums are wearing out fast, and both Sainz and Lawson will have to pit. Well, and they will have to pit sooner because they are on used mediums. So it looks like they're pushing those mediums further than I expected. They're saying the pit window is 18 to 24 laps on F1 TV. Yeah, teams have been pushing that harder. Watching some of the action on track right now. Liam is leading Antonelli, and then a few car lines back is Russell. Current gap is about just over a second to Russell to Antonelli. Gap is bigger. Lawson is charging. He's getting ahead of Antonelli at the moment. We're 0.22 right now is the gap to Lawson and Antonelli, 0.863 now. So 0.97. So he's starting to pull away, and he's now 0.008 ahead of Antonelli. So, and he's now even further. So Lawson is now getting out of DRS range of Antonelli. That will help him keep his P3 and make a charge. Keep his position where he is. Lawson's defending Sainz's podium. Yeah, by defending his podium. He's defending Sainz and Max for their podium as well. Can they go 50 laps on a hard? I mean, they could, but they don't. They won't. With Max on a hard, I would think around lap 35, 40 is where Max would pit, go onto a medium tire. LMAX loving every minute with race statistics. Thanks, Crash. Thank you, LMAX. It's a $5 donation in our chat, YouTube chat. Do all the Max fans from YouTube come over now? No, they're still over in YouTube chat, Vero. The Maxiteers are still over there. Yeah, you would see like 10 of them come over, Vero, as opposed to 2. The last race control message we got was a lap time deleted, turn 16, lap 7 from Alonso. So we've been pretty much green running since lap 5, and it's been pretty straightforward. No one's gone off the track. No, we've had no other incidents or issues with drivers at the moment. Right now, it's coming from wind. Right now is listed as 5.4 kilometers an hour from the southwest, but we've seen it much. We've seen that instantly. That wind pick up on a dime all over the place. So it was very windy during the pre-race show. Albon's getting ahead of Gasly. Colapino getting ahead of Stroll right now. Only a few changes that we've had so far. Our big movers right now are Hamilton, Leclerc, and Colapino. They've moved up 3 places. Colapino is 13th, Hamilton 9th, Leclerc to 7th. So Hamilton to the points, Leclerc from 10th to 7th. Norris has lost a place. Isaac has lost 2. Alonso has lost a place, and Bierman has lost a place. Again, the other big story is that Oscar is out of the race currently. Amen 971 is asking, is it a one-stop race? We suspect it's going to be a one-stop race. Given how the hard and the medium tires have been performing, we suspect it's going to be a one-stop race. Could McLaren technically win the constructors title today? Not really. Not currently as it stands. Red Bull would prevent that from happening. Well, no, they need P1 and P2 or P3, and then the next scenario is they basically they have to outscore, keep points within range. Let me go get the number. Yeah, they had to stay within 9. So Ferrari needs to be within 9 points. Mercedes is 12 points and it's 33 points for Red Bull. And as it stands right now, Max and Tsunoda are outperforming Norris. So as it stands right now, we're moving to Singapore for that's when they will be able to. And Albon right now getting into a pit. 2.4 stop. But Albon did 14 laps on a fresh medium. Oh, why? Because the tire needed to be changed out at this point. Will you make this a difference? Yeah, this will make a difference in the championship. I mean, this is a chance for Lando to charge up the grid and to get points. Right now, he's on a medium tire and he's not using it to his advantage. Numbers of tire, what does that mean? That's the number of laps they've used on that particular tire. And then if there is a slash to that tire, it means, like, again, with Leclerc, he's 18 with the medium tire with a slash to it. That means that tire was used previously. So, again, we're on lap 17. He went out, there's 2 laps on that tire already. That's better than, say, like, Lawson, who's 22 laps on that medium tire. He was 5 laps on that medium tire already. So that's what that means. Oh, Hamilton had a lock up at turn 7, lost a second and a quarter on that alone. Correct. Albon just pitted for a new set of tires. Got Oscar. we've got a new meme of Oscar sitting alone watching the race. Got a yellow flag. It looks like Colpino went off track and came back on. Nope, no crash. No crash on that current yellow flag. Colpino basically missed his turn, it looks like, and then came back onto track. So that is why we got the yellow flag. But those are asking what happened to Oscar. He did crash on lap 1. Here's Colpino. He was behind an Alpine. Oh, he hit the hit the Alpine. Sorry. So the issue here is that there was an incident. Okay, my apologies. They're showing the replay now. Albon came up on the inside of Colapino, and there was a collision, and he basically goes for a spin. He's facing the wrong way down the track. Thank those who are in Twitch chat right now. Thank those who are in YouTube chat. If you're listening or watching on another platform, thank you so much for your choice. Again, for those who are going to watch this on demand after the fact, thank you as well. You do have choices. We're currently on lap 18, going on to lap 19 as Max comes to the line. He's got a 4.5 second lead on Sainz. Sainz got a 4.5 second, and we've got another yellow flag. There. Sector 7. No one's in Sector 7, though. And that's now just been resolved back to green. I don't know what's going on. There might have been debris on track, and there might have been, and evidently just did stop a 2.7 stop. He's going to come out onto a new hard tire. Slippery. There might have been debris on track, and a marshal might have been on track as well. Is another reason why that flag would have been out with no one around. So. Turn five incident involving cars 23 Albin and 43 Colapino under investigation, causing a collision. So they now are going to be looking into that incident between the two. Right now, Max charging down the back area of Sector 3. And the FIA stewards 10-second penalty for Albin for causing a collision. So not a good day for Albin as it is. He will have to come into the pits to serve that. He already has gone to a hard tire, which means that's going to be more than a 10-second penalty. It's going to be effectively going to be like 35 seconds. He's going to lose to serve it. Still need to serve a 5-second penalty is Alonso for jumping the gun at the start. Oscar has that penalty as well, but he's out, so that's going to end up being a grid place drop for the next race. Leclerc has stopped. We didn't get the stop time on his stop. It looked good. And it's 24 seconds, almost 25 seconds in the pit for Leclerc total. And that's coming in and coming out. Again, we got a 10-second penalty for Albon for causing a collision with Colapino. And he's now back of the grid after being basically spun around. Now, they were at the back of the grid to begin with as it is, so there's not much we can say about that. So right now, Russell is 0.8 behind Lawson right now. This has been the big point of the race right now, is this fight for third. So Anthony was part of that fight, but he is pitted, so he's now back to 11th behind Alonso. Now, he's and Leclerc, who is also pitted, is now behind. And as we say that, Lawson has come into the pits. So Russell's going to inherit third, but again, Russell has not pitted yet. So has Sainz, Max, Tsunoda, and Hamilton and Isaac. Borrell and Alonso haven't pitted as well. So right now, Lawson is the leading person on those who have pitted first. He's going to come out just ahead of Antonelli. It's going to be a fight between him and Antonelli again already. It's like 3/10, 4/10 already coming out of the pits. So we got a fight already. And this could effectively be the fight for third, depending on how pits go. And Nelly's about within 1 or 2 car lengths. He's now pulling away. And Lawson's gone in about a tenth and a half now, 2/10. So it was a point. It was like 0.3 before. It's now 5.6, 0.6 tenths. So he's gained significant time on Antonelli, and he's starting to pull away. You guys are weird. You guys are talking about multiple sectors. There's only three. There's 3 sectors to this track. The red portion, start finish line, and Alonso is now pitting. So from start finish line is the red sector. That is sector 1. Then to the start of the castle sector is blue to the back end of that, and then at the end of that, the back straightaway to the start finish line is it's orange, but it's really yellow. It's not showing up as yellow as it should be on our stream. But if you look at the F1, basically they are basically going to they've got a much more intense yellow on their stream. Yeah, I know you guys want to like support Yuki, but like just saying that over and over in chat, one particular person, that's just spamming chat. You did get the message. And Antonelli has passed Lawson. I did not see how that happened on track. I was ahead of him. What happened? What happened there? He's second and almost over a second back from Lawson. Again, Max is still our race leader. He's been leading the race since from the start of it. We're on lap 23 of 51. We've got 29 laps to go. Why is they pitting? Carlos is losing time. Again, right now, Russell is about 4 seconds back from Sainz. So that's the number we're looking at right now. If that drops significantly, I mean, that would be the time to bring in Sainz and put him onto a hard tire to the rest of the race, basically. Basically, what's going on is trying to see how long can they go on that medium tire before they pit. RJ, can Max still win the championship? I think that the answer to that is mathematically, technically, yes. Practically, no. We at this point, McLaren will win the constructors' champion. They're not going to do it this weekend, but they'll do it most likely at Singapore. And then the drivers' championship is going to be between Oscar and Norris. Max is probably going to take third as things go. Yeah, Antonelli, Lawson, and Leclerc have pitted already, Tatsumi. And right now the gap Russell has is 3.72 Sainz, so keep a pin on that. So Alonso has served his 5-second penalty. So when he pitted, he did serve his 5-second penalty. So he has got a clean slate. The only one with a penalty right now who is still racing is Albon, and then Oscar will end up having to serve his penalty as a grid drop next race. Yeah, right now between the last lap, Sainz, Russell was a half a second faster than, 4/10 faster than Sainz, effectively. Yeah, Garmin, basically he had an incident with Albon that basically threw him around backwards, effectively. Rain chances, they said it was like a 10% chance for rain during this, but like, I've seen nothing in terms of the weather. What are we seeing? Just showed, as you say that, they were showing something for potential weather on a screen, but wasn't clear what that meant. We are on lap 25 of 51. We've got 27 laps to go in this race. Again, this is the Race Statistics channel, and this is Grash with you live. We're on Twitch, we're on YouTube, we're on probably a couple other platforms I'm not aware of at the moment. And those who are watching after the fact, thank you for watching us on demand after the fact. Thank you. We've got almost 9,000 in YouTube, and we've got 3,642 right now watching in Twitch chat. Thank you so much. Do want to shout out to F1 Gates. I know you guys have been putting us on your website, and we appreciate that you've done that. We've got huge numbers of people in Twitch chat that we haven't had before, so thank you. No one needs to box, right? That's the thing right now. No one really needs to box. I know Russell has cut another half a second into Russell's time. I'm sorry, Russell has cut a half second into Sainz's time to the gap. Again, Max and Russell are on hard tires, so is Tsunoda and Hamilton. So they're not going to pit for at least another 5 to 6 laps at the minimum, and they could go much further. They could go another 10 laps before pitting easily. Is Colpino making up time? He's trying to make up time at this point. He's just trying to make up time at this point. Granted, he's now in clean air because there's no one around him at this point. Again, you guys are pointing over that Sainz is losing time. But yeah, no, that gap is now down to 2.8. So he's lost a significant amount of time. He's on a medium tire. It's been 30 laps used. That's 5 laps more than he started with a five lap used medium tire. And Danley's overtaken Bortolov. Yeah, that's big deal. I mean, that's him moving up further. Right now, Antonelli is technically, again, is in the position where he could be in third. It's gonna see how the pits go. Let's see, it's about 24 seconds. So Russell would if he pitted right now would be 35. So Antonelli would be ahead of him. Bortolello would be Russell would come out around Bortolello, maybe ahead of him. So Antonelli is technically in that third position right now, based on pit delay. Antonelli has pitted and Russell has not. And Bortolello is now pitting right now. He went 25 laps on that hard tire. So that makes him go 27 laps on a medium. That would be the expected strategy. We've got 25 laps to go in this race so far. So we're halfway through this race as it is stand right now. You are listening to the Races channel. This is Grash with you live with our coverage of the Baku race. Max has a 9.7 gap to Sainz. Russell is a 2.5 gap to Sainz. That has decreased significantly over the last few laps. So right now is fourth. But the real answer is that Antonelli is a technical third because he's pitted. But like Isaac, Hamilton, Norris, Tsunoda, Russell, Sainz, even Hamilton, they all have not pitted. So if we take into pit consideration, Antonelli would be in third. Sainz now pitting right now. That makes sense. He's lost enough time. So Russell's going to move up to 2, inherit 2, Tsunoda 3 by virtue of the pit order right now. Sainz won't go to softs. Softs won't last at all. And that's because the hard is the C4 compound, the medium is the C5 compound, and the soft is a C6 design, and that was designed for Monaco, really, and that's how long that tire has before it starts really falling off. And that's what happened with Hamilton, is that they left him on that soft tire for like 5-6 laps, and it basically fell off, and it didn't have any grip left on when he needed the tire. So Sainz right now has fallen back to 6. Comes out between Hamilton and Isaac. And Denelli right now charging on Isaac. He's done 31 laps on that used medium tire. The big thing right now is if there's any incident, we get a crash, we get a safety car, that will allow like Max, Russell, Tsunoda, Norris to pit and gain significant time and keep positions. So that is what we're looking at. Can Sainz catch up in the end again? Yeah, right now is more of a question of when do the people ahead of Sainz start pitting? Norris is the first one that we should see. Probably will start pitting in the next 2-3 laps, and then another significantly longer time. I mean, we could go 30-40 laps on those hard tires. Behrman pitting right now. He went 28 on a hard tire. He's going to expected to go to a medium tire. He's going to need that to charge through the field if he's going to make that charge. Sainz right now is in a technical second, like Antonelli's in a technical third because the people ahead, there are several people ahead of him who haven't pitted. With the one exception, obviously, is Max Verstappen. Isaac's asking, should we pit before Antonelli overtakes him? And we are now on lap 30 of 52. There's 22 laps in this race to go. So we are 3/5 of the way through this race as it is right now. So far, the guys have not been irked by you. Oh, dude, did you miss yesterday? Did you miss Oscar? And Isaac is now pitting. That's going to move Antonelli up a position. So is Lawson Leclerc. And Isaac is going on to the hard tires for the rest of this race. And he's got a 20-second pit stop. That's actually that's the total pit, not just a stop. It's actually very good. That's going to keep Isaac in the points. He's going to come out second ahead of Stroll, who's P11. There'll be a big gap between him to Leclerc, so he's got some somewhat clean air to make up time and speed. So right now we're looking at two different worlds. We've got the world with Sainz, Identity, Lawson, Leclerc, and Isaac who have pitted. They are if they are the second order, so they're basically second down if we consider pit order. Technically on track, Max is still leading, and he'll be even with pit order, he'd be leading. And then it's Russell, Tsunoda, Norris, Hamilton, who have not pitted yet. Norris is the next one we expect to pit in that group. And that's virtual by the fact he's on a medium tire. Click right now, creeping up on Lawson. Max being the only one that changed. Yeah, that's correct, because Max has led the race from the beginning of this race. I want to thank everyone who's shown up so far today. We got almost 10,000 of you watching on YouTube and another almost 4,000 watching on Twitch. It's huge. Thank you so much. How is Max so fast on the hards? Because it's fresh hard tires. And he's maintained them. He's managed them through this stint. And basically, he got ahead of Sainz and then just built, Max does what Max does best and just kept going. So we're predicting a red flag at lap 33. That's the next lap. It'll be interesting to see if you are correct. Max right now on lap 32. Bierman has taken the fastest lap of 144.654, which is about just a tenth and a little bit more, an eighth of a second faster than Max's last lap. Max last lap was a 140.784, which is the fastest lap he's done so far, and he's been consistently doing that, like 140, low 145 to 144.7. People asking if it will rain. Probably not. It doesn't look like it, but there is a slight chance. We won't know until it actually just hits. 10% chance was the percentage that we were given at the beginning of the race by race control. Yeah, don't put in false information into chat, please. Thank you so much. Can Max net a Grand Slam? I don't think he can, because I don't think he. It depends how you define the Grand Slam. If you're including FP1, FP2, FP3, then that would be a no. But if it's a pole, win, and lead every lap, then yes. I don't know if we're counting fastest lap as well in that Grand Slam anyway, so. What's the pit lap? Hold on. I need to. Someone spamming chat. Thank you. What's the pit loss stop time? We're looking somewhere between 20 to 24 seconds total. I've been using 24 seconds, but we saw Isaac do a 20-second pit stop. And again, that's coming in, the stop itself, and coming out of the pits. Lando is not in a position to be on the podium at the end right now. He needs something to happen, like a safety car, in order to keep the position he's in. Again, people are asking what happened to Oscar. Oscar crashed on lap 1. He carried too much speed into turn 6 and hit the Tech Pro barrier, and he was out. Again, right now, Russell, Tsunoda, Norris, and Hamilton are in their positions by virtue they have not pitted yet. And where they would actually come in behind other people if they were pitted. So like Sainz, Antonelli, Lawson, Leclerc, and Isaac, technically particularly Sainz and Antonelli and Lawson are technically in their second, third, fourth position after considering pits. Yeah, guys, please don't ask for people to stop. Don't. It's not funny that you like. Oh, let's let Lando crash to make it fit. No. Stop. You don't. You stop. Stop being gross. Stop being that's pathetic as well. Like, yeah, guys, stop spamming chat. Come on. Like, put your question in once. If you want to get my attention, this particularly YouTube chat. Again, I put my name in the chat. If you want to get your attention, use my name once. Yeah, I put that in Twitch chat for you guys as well. There we go. Anyways, as we continue, we are currently on lap 35 with 17 laps to go in this race. Max will pit after a 20-second gap. Yeah. And then go out for fastest lap. How come Norris is hardly gaining on Yuki all this time? Because Norris is on a medium tire. That's pretty much. I don't know how that is going still 34 laps later. Over 10,000 of you watching on YouTube. Thank you so much. Over 4,000 watching on Twitch. Thank you for being part of the Racing Statistics Army, everyone. Again, we got 100 subscribers away on YouTube to 146,000. Three more follows on Twitch for the 800 mark. Isn't the McLaren's car also better than the Red Bull? Yeah, but this is not a track that suits the McLaren car. I mean, it's hard to be perfect. We saw that. What do you think about Lawson? I mean, Lawson right now is 8th behind Antonelli. He's technically 4th when we consider pit order. Maybe 5th. He's having a great race. So let's put it this way. Like now he's in 8th. He started 3rd, and he's currently in 8th. But that's again pit order. Again, we're looking at where Russell, Tsunoda, Norris, and Hamilton do. Yeah, Norris would be disqualified if you don't pit. I mean, you're required to use 2 compounds during a race. That is the requirement. If you don't do that, you are disqualified. You think Max will lap Franco? It's possible. It could happen. We'll have to look at that Max lapping Franco. That would probably be within another like 5 to 10 laps if that happens. But if that happens, it happens because ultimately Colapino Gasly just pitted. He's now going to go 15 laps on a medium tire. No, soft tire is not possible. No, it's not possible now. The medium, no, the soft tire. It's like maybe 5 laps at best. That soft tire is not meant for the race use. It's really, it's meant for qualification and practice. And this is Hamilton coming into pit. Hamilton has a 2.2 stop time. That's really good. Yeah, 5-6 laps at a max. That's pushing it further. I mean, I don't even think 4 laps max really. You'd have to really maintain that tire to go more than 5 and 7 laps. I just don't. Yeah, we're not going to see the soft tires in this race. Hamilton has gone to a medium because he started on a hard tire, so he'll have 15 laps to go on that, and he drops back behind Leclerc. So again, Sainz, Antonelli, Lawson right now, 5th, 6th, 7th on track, but there's 3 people who are ahead of him who, like Sainz is at 34 seconds. So the gap to Max to Russell is 13 seconds. The gap from Sainz to Verstappen is 34. Right now, Sainz would be ahead of Russell. Probably ahead of Antonelli. Antonelli would be ahead of Russell as well. Lawson has dropped back significantly, so I don't think. So I think Lawson has dropped out of that podium fight. So we're really looking at like Max, Sainz, Antonelli, Russell in that order for the podium. What's the pit loss time? It's going to be anywhere from 20 to 25 seconds, depending on their stop. Here comes Norris. Oh, that's a bad stop for Norris. 4.1 stop. Why? Oh, that's a bad stop for Norris. So Norris is going to come out 21, almost 22 seconds in the pit. Oscar crashed, so we got to give Lando another bad stop. So Norris is going to come out behind Leclerc. He's going to come out 2 seconds behind Leclerc, which is basically gave Leclerc position. So where we are right now, we've got Max, Russell, Tsunoda all on hard tires. They all have to pit at some point to go to what would be expected a medium tire. And it's the front right tire that went on slowly. So this is the second time that Lando has gotten a bad pit stop from his team. Tsunoda right now pitting. He's went 38 on that hard tire. He'll go 13 on a medium tire. Tsunoda has a 2.2 stop time. The total pit time for him is going to be 20.3. And that's going to bring him out behind Antonelli, behind Lawson. Let's see how far behind Lawson? Comes out second behind Lawson for P6, which is a good position for Tsunoda. He now charged. The thing with Tsunoda right now is he's in a position now. Oh, he went on to a used medium. With 13 laps, he should be okay. He has tire advantage right now. He should be able to charge on at least Lawson, at least P5. Don't know if he'll get to Antonelli, but he has a capability to charge up the grid. And if he wants, right now Russell is the one person. If he charges, he could probably get ahead of them before they pit. So this has been a race where less about overtakes on track and more about how we're managing your tires and when you're pitting, how you're pitting. Yuki's tire history is not messed up. He started on Yuki they put on a used medium tire that were 5 laps, and he's now gone 2 laps on that tire already. So yeah, it doesn't make. I understand that the people that doesn't make sense until you realize that he's put on a used set of tire. So this is actually looking good for Yuki right now. He's a 1.8 back. He's not really advancing on him as of yet. So we'll see how that goes in a moment. Max, someone's joking. Max now has a 32-second gap on Russell. So if he pits now, he will still be in the lead. And now Max is actually getting closer. And as I say that, he has now gone to the pits. He was about to get close to Colapino and Gasly to lap them. So Max right now went 40 laps on a hard. Looks like he'll go 11 laps on a medium tire. Here's Max. That was clean and smooth. 2.4 stop time for Max. That's a good time. And it's a 20.2 stop total lap. total time that he will be in the pits. When did Russell pit? So it's like Russell pitted a lap ago, and it's managed to get ahead of Sainz and Antonelli somehow. Norris right now is P7 on Tsunoda. He's about 1.3 back. Leclerc is basically 6 tenths behind Norris right now. So that's where we got our first real fight in this race at the moment. Albon has made it to get up to 12th behind Bortolello. Ocon is behind his teammate. Gasly is behind his teammate as well. Max, which would, and here's Russell. Ooh. Getting a replay of Russell's pit stop. And that was smooth. And that he went from hard to mediums. Now, both Max and Russell have used medium tires. Now, given that they have only 5 and 8 laps on each, and there's only 10 laps to go, it's not going to be a big deal. It's going to be within that window of operation for that tire. But we saw, like Lando push it 37 laps on a medium tire. And that was a fresh medium tire, too. Sainz rated Russell on fresher tires, and Sainz says, just leave it to me. That's interesting. That's confidence for everyone. Just leave it to me. Right now, Sainz is 3 seconds back behind Russell. And he's on he's 14 laps on a hard compound. That is the C4 compound, everyone. Russell his tire is 8 laps on a medium, which is the C5 compound. So everyone has pitted at this point. So pit order does not matter anymore. Albon reports of light rain at turn 16. Turn 16 is by the castle, one of these turns. That's just as you start sector 3. So both Tsunoda and Norris have made charges. Yuki is within 6 tenths of Lawson right now, and Norris is 9 tenths within DRS range of Tsunoda. Leclerc, who was nearby, has fallen back 2.1, 2.3 at this point. And Hamilton has passed him. Hamilton has moved up to 8th. They have switched places. Oh, they have given, so Ferrari team orders, everyone. They have they asked Leclerc to let Hamilton pass because he's on mediums. So Bet Ham, Max is pushing hard. Thank you for joining us in Twitch chat. Yeah, Max has done a great race. I mean, this is classic Max. Get pole, keep lead, and extend the lead throughout the race. Russell right now is 12 seconds back. We've got Sainz 4 seconds back. Antonelli is 1.6 back. Lawson is 8.2 back. And then we've got Tsunoda 0.7 and Norris 0.6. So there could be a fight for 6 between Norris and Tsunoda before they get to Lawson. Keep an eye on what's going on as this continues. Do you think Kimi can get the podium? No, not at this point. Not without something major happening, like Sainz or Russell making a mistake. We do have 8 laps left to go, and he's 1.6 back. So I mean that's the number to keep an eye on. That would have to drop. He'd have to be 4/10, 2/10 every lap right now, and he's not doing it. Last lap, Russell was sorry. Let me look back. Yeah, Sainz was 2/10 faster than Antonelli on the last lap. So the gap again right now is 1.6. That needs to drop significantly now in order for Antonelli to get a podium. Bro, Max is flying crazy. Yeah, Max is flying crazy all race long. I mean, this is. I know some of you would find that really very. Oh wow, purple sector 1, purple sector 2. See, is when he comes across the line. Is not purple sector 3, but close. He gets the fastest lap of the race, 143.564. That's flying. I'm just going to say, Beast Mode PodChamp, thank you so much for your comment. This is a family show, though, so not going to repeat it. Max, again, another fastest Sector 1. So again, right now, Lawson, Tsunoda, Norris is what they're focusing on F1 TV, and that's where the action is. They're really close. They're within car lengths of each other. It really looks cool. Norris is trying to move closer on Tsunoda. Yeah, I think Norris and Tsunoda are going to fight first before they get either one of them gets to Lawson at this point. Championship back on? No, it's not on. It's not. No, I mean technically, he's not out of it technically, mathematically, but functionally, it's he is not going to make the points. Do you guys just call out Colpin? I haven't been paying attention to them. Yeah, they're like so far in the back. I haven't been paying attention to them. Is Hamilton gonna? It's not Hamilton. It's I don't know. Hamilton's now getting closer. These guys are fast, trying to catch up with them. Again, Max done another fastest lap of 143.423. Didn't improve in Sector 2, but he improved in Sector 3, which is, where you can get your area. Hamilton is now charging into the mix, whereas Lawson, Tsunoda, Norris, and we've now got Hamilton in that bunch. We could see Hamilton might make a move on Norris before anything else happens now. Again, I want to thank everyone who's here. We've got over 11,390 of you watching on YouTube. We've got over 4,875 watching on Twitch chat. Don't know what other platforms we're on at the moment and what those counts are, unfortunately. Those who are watching on demand, thank you as well. Again, this is Grash with you live, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Again, we do this for every session, whether it is FP1, FP2, FP3, or if it's FP1, sprint quality, sprint race quality, and then the Grand Prix. And we'll also be back for preseason testing when it's broadcast on F1 TV as well. TG Works, the Flying Dutch Mountain is in flying mode. Flying Rajan mode. Oh, that's a new one. Sonoda's fine. Soda not slow. He's in sixth position. That's actually really good. That's good for him right now. That's good points. I mean, if he could overtake Lawson, that would be better. Getting a great shot of Sonoda and Norris right now, and we've got again it's four. It's the four of them. It's Lawson, Sonoda, Norris, Hamilton right now. This is where the action of the race is at the moment. As it stands right now, Lawson has 27 lap. He's got decent hard tires. Sonoda has used medium tires. But Norris is supposed to has fresher hard tires, and Hamilton has fresher medium tires. We're getting at the close to the end of where. Ooh, that was a squiggly move by Leclerc back there. But it's a question of when does Hamilton make his move on Norris? He should be making a move on Norris soon. What you guys are saying right now. Yeah, Butterfly, just relax, man. I mean, people are gonna wanna like you're among Max fans, so let them be. No real reason to go crazy over them. Yeah, you're repeating yourself now. Give you a moment to chill out. Antonelli's closing on science. Antonelli is 1.7. No, he's not closing on science. He was 1.6 back. He's lost a tenth with 4 laps to go. So that's not happening. I think this is a game of chicken. I think this is people are not going to do anything for another 2 laps, and then all heck is going to break loose among those four. Yeah, so it is who's going to make who's going to. Yeah, it's a question of who's going to be who's going to make a move first in that order. And you think Hamilton would do it because he's the furthest back. He's 9 tenths back. Norris is 6 tenths back. Norris is 6.4 back. Who is going to be? Who's going to make that charge? Hamilton's now charging. He's now 0.6 back. That's 3 tenths just gained. Blue flag way for Gasly. So Max has now reached the Alpine boys. Gasly will have to pull over at some point and let Max go by. And that means the same for Colapino as well. So ultimately, Max is going to, and he's now lapped Gasly. It's now a matter of Max lapping, and he's now done that for Colapino. So Max has now gotten ahead of the two Alpines. He's going to be back in clean air. And that's one of the things about F1 is that they do have these blue flag rules. NASCAR and IndyCar don't have these particular rules. In fact, you can if you're still on the lead lap, you are still allowed to race to maintain your status on the lead lap. So 47 saying that you thought that there would be more accidents occur in the curbs. Yeah, I thought there would be another incident. At the most we got ultimately was Albin hitting Colapino and flipping him around. Again, we've got 2 laps to go right now. Max is in castle section, sector 2, on his lap. Russell is just starting the castle section, so is Antonelli. Sainz is between them. And again, Antonelli is 1.7 back, so he's nowhere near making any moves. So right now we're looking at a Max Verstappen 1, Russell 2, and Sainz 3. Antonelli looking on the outside, Lawson 5th, and Tsunoda 6th. Norris 7, Hamilton 8th, but though we do have that group of 4, Lawson, Tsunoda, Norris, Hamilton, where someone wants to make a move, they could. Tsunoda's is falling back a little bit. He's now 0.9 behind Lawson. We are now on our final lap. I am going to keep following the race until we get our top 10 through. So Max is, again, literally, it's going to be about a minute after Max finishes until with more commentary before we do. Aaron Barlow battles. Look at what you guys are saying. Right, win. Not this race, Crooks, my friend. Ferrari is eighth and 9th right now. And Hamilton is 8th and not making a move. Norris is making a move is closer, 0.3. See if that holds. Norris is stalking Tsunoda right now. So Lawson is out of the group. He's a second ahead of Tsunoda. Norris back half a second. Max right now coming along. He's in the back section of the castle section. He's hit the DRS point. Speed trap to the DRS zone. And here is Max Verstappen, your race winner. Russell will be second. Sainz will be third. That will be our podium. Antonelli has gotten 4th. All right, is anyone going to make a move? Anyone brave? No. Here comes Lawson. Lawson, Tsunoda, Norris. Oh, did Hamilton... I think Hamilton tried to slow down to let Leclerc through and didn't happen. Yeah, it didn't happen. So Leclerc came in half a second behind Hamilton. So it looks like Ferrari tried to switch the places back. It just didn't happen in time. Albin is 11th right now. He still has a 10-second penalty to serve. And that is our race, everyone. Thank you those who enjoyed the race. Again, this has been Grash. This has been our coverage of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix race. When we're going to be on live next. So this is pretty much, again, for the month, there's only one more week left in this month. We will be back on October 3rd. It'll be dead of night for me again. Yeah, it's going to be fun. 4:30 in the morning for me on October 3rd. We'll see what happens. But anyways, October 3rd, we will be back with our coverage of free practice. Trying to make sure. Yeah, okay. It's just it's 3 practices. Okay. I wasn't sure it was going to be it's next year that they're doing the sprint at Singapore. So we'll see you for free practice 1 on October 3rd. I want to thank everyone who showed up. We had huge numbers this weekend. Thank you so much. Again, our podium is Max Verstappen first. He won by 14 seconds. Russell was 4.5 seconds ahead of Sainz. Sainz was 2.5 seconds ahead of Antonelli. So Max, Russell, Sainz is our podium. Antonelli was 4th. Lawson was 5th. Great points for the Racing Bulls in that regards. His teammate Isaac was 10th. So good double points for Racing Bulls. Sonoda, it was 6th, so double points for Red Bull. That's been, I think, one of the best performances from Yuki. Norris did not move up in his position. He started 7th, finished 7th. Hamilton moved up 4 positions, though one of those was from Leclerc. Leclerc finished 9th. So disappointing, it's for Ferrari, 8th and 9th is disappointing. 7th for McLaren is disappointing. As it stands, we are moving to Singapore for the Constructors' Championship. So. Yeah, for those who just have joined us, don't forget to follow the channel. Wow, that's a big jump by Max. That was a huge jump. I've seen Lando leaps, and that was big. That was a big Lando leap. I'm an American. I watch football. If you want to feel my pain, go watch the New England Patriots. There's L Max. He's another fellow Patriot fan. For everyone here at the Racing Statistics channel, I want to thank you for being here. Again, we'll see you on November 3rd for free practice 1 for Singapore. Until then, take care, everyone. Have a good day. I'm going to go back and rest. Take care, everyone, and we will see you soon.